Are conferences worth it? I just got back from my 4th conference of the year, and I got 2 more to go. I just attended Creator Camp from Ecamm up in New Hampshire, and I want to get into all of my takeaways, whether it's worth it, some of my favorite sessions, and whether or not I recommend it for you. Let's get into it. Hey, I'm Paul Gatter, and this is the show OTW, where I help you get on the way to building the life you love by leveling up your business and helping you make the goals you want. I'm recording this with Ecamm, which I just got back from their conference, Creator Camp. If you want to try it out for yourself, ecamm.com/powwows. Came home with this great Awala bottle and this workbook. It was a fantastic week up there in Portsmouth. So let me first talk about who Creator Camp is for. If you're a creator, entrepreneur, and you really want to move your business forward and video is part of your content strategy, then this is the conference for you. Now, not every session there and not every talk was about gear and video production. There was some about mindset, some about your process, some about building community and AI. But overall, the talk in the room is how to use video to make your business goals happen. So if that's you, then I highly recommend checking out Creator Camp in 2026. And they're going to have Creator Camp UK for those of you overseas. So check out that over on Ecamm's website. So let's talk about my takeaways and kind of what I went to Creator Camp to do. I came home with this workbook, and you can see I did take a lot of notes in it. Where's this page full of stuff? Well, I did take a lot of notes. They did a really great job of dividing us into different types right off the bat: producers, presenters, and planners. And so even your book was kind of catered to your type of content creator and what your thoughts were. So that was really cool, and that was really helpful to even know that ahead of time, and then coming into it, having all of that tailored to us. So for me, I went into this trying to figure out how I'm going to be more consistent and have a better video process. A video like this, I struggle. We do a lot of videos on the other side of my business. It's just a natural part, and I've been doing those videos for years, and that's a little easier. I have a couple of teams that help me. And then the live show I do, it's something I've done. And so it doesn't take a lot of planning and effort. It's just part of my weekly routine. But on this side of the business, I'm struggling to create content. And so one of the things I wanted to find is ways to help me do that. A takeaway I had was figuring out ways to remove the friction from producing videos. And then that one thing means like this setup, making sure that I have a setup that when I want to record a video, it's easy for me to sit down and go. I already have that a little bit, mostly from the other videos I do for the other side of the business. But then there was also talk about how to really figure out ways like what your video ideas are, scripting them, repurposing them. A lot of those things, I'm going to dig into the workbook because I want to go back through them and see if I can figure out a better process and system to create more videos. That was what I kind of went into it wanting to do and wanting to learn. As far as the presentations, now outside of the presentations, the conversations I had, the connections I made, I came home with meeting some people that I've seen online, I have never met in person, and getting to like sit down and not just like pick their brain, but then just having real conversations. Super cool. Really love that. And so that comes to the question, are conferences worth it? And if you are going just for the sessions, no. I talked about this on Creator News Live with Jeff C. We did a live show last week and really dug into this topic. So I'll put a link down below for that. But if you just want to go and watch sessions, you can get most of that information through their YouTube channels, or some, maybe doing some online virtual kind of conferences. I don't think that the price of the ticket, the expense of getting there, and the hotel is really worth it if that's all you're going for. I think the real value in these is being in the room, talking with the speakers when they come off the stage. Or we had one night where a group of us, we sat outside. I brought some some of my bourbon for people to sample. And we literally sat outside and talked for, I don't know, 3-4 hours. The bourbon was long gone within the first maybe hour, but we sat out there, and other like groups came by, and new people would come in, and we'd have long conversations with them, and it was really cool. And so you're not going to get that online. And I came away with some, people I hadn't met before, and now, consider them a friend, and can't wait to go back and hang out with them again. But then also having business conversations in the room. For me, as a big fan of Geek Beat TV way back in the mid 2000s, Callie Lewis, she changed her name back to her original name, Luria. I got to meet her in person, and that was really cool. And being able to talk with her, and immediately the first thing she said in our conversation was, "So, she said, I'm familiar with what you do. How can I help you? What can I do to make things better for you?" And so we dug into some things. Now, I definitely would love to sit down with her more and dig into it better, but even that brief 10-minute conversation was really, really beneficial. I was able to, in fact, I went back to her a couple of times and ask her some pointed questions more about YouTube and some of the things that are coming up, because she talked about it in her presentation, some of the new features that YouTube is rolling out. She was able to text people at YouTube and get me answers the next day. That is not going to happen if you just go to attend the sessions. That was pretty awesome. And so I got to meet some other people, and, I got to have conversations with the developers and the founders of Ecamm and talk about some of the things I would like to see in the software. And when they did their demo, they actually said, "Yeah, and the guy out there, powwows, we're going to do that, what you mentioned." So that was really cool, right? So yeah, I think conferences are worth it if you really force yourself to make those connections and have those conversations. I struggle with it. I talked about it on Jeff's show. I'm an introvert by nature. I don't like that whole going around and trying to network and stuff. Having a group of friends with me, Lou, Jeff, and Lisa, the base friends that I had my wingmen and wingwoman, there to back me up. It did give me a little bit of a confidence boost to be able to go out and meet people and talk. So I think that's important when you start going to conferences. Find some people that you can hang out with and help you. And there was a conference earlier this year, and Lou and I were standing outside the talk, and somebody walked up that Lou had known for a long time. I'm like, "Hey, Lou, man, I'd like to meet them. Introduce me." So those kind of things are really important too. So find your group of people, and then you can really make the most of these conferences. So some of the highlights of the sessions, and I'll link down below to the Creator Camp website so you can kind of see a little bit more. But one of the first sessions, Phil did a talk on idea generation, how to record, getting a real framework for your videos. And that's what I went for. So right off the bat, I got a lot of answers and notes and things I need to incorporate. And forcing myself to do this video today is part of what Phil talked about. Lou Mongello, always inspiring. I've seen him talk so many times. Lou's a friend, and so it's always good to see him talk. But every time I get inspired by him, the way he talks about community, the way he serves his community, makes me want to be better and be of service to the readers and the subscribers and work harder for them. Really good talk, Lou. Luria got up on stage and talked about, like I said, some of the features coming to Ecamm, but she also talked about studios. She did her whole presentation using Ecamm instead of doing slides. Really cool idea. To be able to think through of how you could do an entire presentation. I mean, this is what we do recording videos here online. She did it in person. So that was kind of cool to see. And she gave me some fresh ideas for something I'm going to change here. I don't like the lighting behind me. It's really not lit. So she gave me some ideas, some things I want to try that. Brandon, man, oh man, what a presentation. That dude is full of energy. And it was cool to see and listen to him talk too, because even though he's a high energy guy, he talked about that he's not always high energy in person, and he really struggles to do that and to be high energy. So that was, hey, I relate. So that was really cool to see. Plus his some of his ideas for studios, and man, his video process and what he does Really cool. Of course, my friend Jeff C gave me some new tools and AI things that I want to try out. Um, so go check out the Ecamm or Creator Camp site that linked below, and you'll kind of see what was talked about, and again, see if this is right for you next year. The other thing that makes conferences worth it for me, especially when my wife Kelly is able to come with me, is getting to do some other things. We always like to try to find ways to, we love to travel, and we prioritize travel. So we want to be able to enjoy some of the local flavor, the local culture, and see what we can learn about. It was really cool. Caleb, Kathy, and Cheryl, they invited Kelly and I to go to Salem with them the day before Creator Camp started, and to see Salem in its full spooky season with street vendors and performers and all the shops full of cool stuff. That was super fun. So thank you, Caleb, Kathy, and Cheryl, for inviting us. Man, now we really want to go back and spend a much longer time there, do some of the tours. So that was cool. Portsmouth itself was a really cool city, and we're glad we were there a little early. The day before, like the afternoon, we went to Salem. That morning, we walked around, and even the day before, we kind of got to go and explore Portsmouth. It's a super walkable downtown with tons of shops and restaurants all right there together. One of the days I was at Creator Camp, Kelly even did a harbor tour and got to go and see several lighthouses and really get the history of the area. So that, again, makes it worth it for me. Next week, I'm heading to Momentum. And hey, if you need an excuse to go to Disney World, Momentum is your conference. And what better thing to go and hit before and after a conference? So here's my action plan coming out of Ecamm, Creator Camp. I go into conferences with a pre-plan of what I want to take away, some of the people I want to try to meet. And I think it's important after you come back is how are you going to incorporate what you learned? So I'm going to work on forcing myself to do more video, figuring out better ways to ideate, process, and really get this set up. I got some ideas to change this studio a little bit, get this backdrop lit a little bit better, make it a little more interesting. I got some cool stuff back there, and you guys can't see it. And I want to really be more consistent. And of course, because of Lou, I want to find better ways to serve the community. So if video is part of your business plan, it's part of the content you create, and it's what helps your business move forward, Creator Camp is for you. I really think you should consider it if video is part of your business. The other conferences I would recommend, so a quick rundown. I've been to Podfest, CEX, Craft and Commerce, Creator Camp. I'm heading to Momentum, and then I'll be at MVCon. MVCon is only for Mediavine publishers, so I can't recommend that one. Podfest is the biggest conference I go to every year with tons and tons of sessions. I think that's probably the most accessible thing to get in there, network, meet people, and just get a ton of information because it is so big and so much going on. Craft and Commerce is smaller, still 300-400 people, focused on kit and email marketing, but tons of other sessions. I felt like that one was a little more advanced in it wasn't necessarily for beginners that were just starting their business, but made some great connections there, great sessions. CEX, that one was really good. Some good keynotes and some good breakout sessions. If you are trying to be a creator and just put out content that in general, not just video, but all kinds of content, that's a really good one to put on your calendar. But the two that I'll recommend the most, Momentum, 50 people, one room, and we get the work done in the room. And the community with that is super awesome. You will continue to talk with them and work with them throughout the year. And then a close second is Creator Camp. Same kind of vibe as Momentum, just a little bit bigger. I think it was 75 people. No breakout sessions. It's all there still in one room, which I think is super, super cool and really helps, I think, form a better community and group there. So those are the two I would recommend the most. And please let me know if this is helpful and what conferences you're considering for next year. Thank you so much. I hope I inspire you to get on the way to really leveling up your business. And hey, if you do enjoy this and you want to know more, head over to our community, www.onthewaycommunity.com. I have a free community over there, and it's my way of trying to figure out a way that we can have those hallway conversations, those lunchtime conversations that we have at conferences, and continue that online. So come check us out over there. Link in the discussion or in the show notes below. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.